Baby, stay away from summer. Hope you like the stars I stole for you. You know, I love stars. I'm like really pretty. I'm like really, really pretty. Plus, it reminds me of so much that I went through, and it's like symbolic for me. Like, damn, you went through that? It's like a moment of change for me. Because I don't know if you guys remember my old videos, like the beginning videos, when I was going through that period. Something like big that I went through, literally for my character development. Because now I don't care. I don't know, in the first few videos, I don't know if I mentioned like this person. I was like, yeah, I don't know if we're friends, blah, 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 blah. And it was like so complicated. I just am like, bruh, why did I go through that, you know? Do you guys understand? Like, does that ever happen to you? It's like not the person, it's like more of the situation that happened, and you're like, why did that happen? But now I'm like, okay, I'm glad it happened. But then the person's like, yeah, I'm glad it happened too. I'm like, you don't get a say in this. I do, not you. You don't get to be like, oh yeah, I'm happy it happened. You're the one who caused me pain, bruh. Like, I kept on asking why did you do that? And then they're like, I don't know, I was selfish, I guess. I'm like, and there's just one thing I was thinking about, and I remember I'm like, and I still stayed. Like, that whole thing really made me change as a person, because now for like relationships, I'm not gonna like accept the bare minimum, bruh. I'm not gonna be the one planning dates. I'm not gonna be the man in the relationship anymore, because I used to do that like a lot. I used to be like, oh yeah, let's hang out, oh yeah, let's, like, I'll be the first one to text a lot, and I'm like, nah, you gotta text me first. Like, that's a man's job, bruh. I'm a girlfriend. I'm not gonna be the man in the relationship. And like really changed my perspective. I'm like, I want someone who's mentally stable, because of that, I'm not very stable myself, and if I'm not stable, the other person's stable, it's a mess, bro. And I'm working on myself. Like, I'm becoming better. I am better than a long time ago, bro. It's like, I don't want someone who like complains and doesn't change, and like someone who like doesn't put in the work because I'm putting in the work, you know. But it's like, yeah, it made me like realize what I need in a person. I need someone who can keep me happy and like does more than the bare minimum. And even by my standards, they're not that high, but I'm wanting to put them high. Like, you know? Because there's this thing that he said, like when was it? Like October, November, around that. He's like, oh, it's because I want nobody else to have your love. And at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And now I'm like, you were that selfish that you didn't want me to leave you, a broken kid that literally caused me pain just so nobody else can have me? Like, that's another type of selfish, bro. That's like, and it's so funny because later on, like, it was this year. It was this year. My friend told me, oh my gosh, he contacted the girl that, like, he kind of left me for. I don't really care. But it was so funny because in the messages, he's like, yeah, I still think about you. And, it's so funny because when I see you in the halls, I can't help but wish you would say hi or something. Ha ha ha. It was so cringy, bro. I was dying of laughter. I'm like, no way. I think, yeah, they're talking right now, but I'm like, to be honest, it's better than them not to talk, because it's like, okay, at least you hurt me to get with her. If you kind of understand what I'm saying, but I still didn't deserve that, but it's like, okay, at least you hurt me and you went with her instead of hurting me just so you don't. But like, it's better to like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about the whole thing. This is like this is like something. Okay, because this is something I didn't talk to you guys about, so I'm just gonna put this out there just in case like any of you guys relate and you guys want to get out and you want to get help and all that. Okay, so I was with a guy for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden I got this gut feeling and I went to school, and then I saw him with my friend and then they pushed each other away. I'm like, that's weird. That's suspicious. So I was mad at him, and then he's like, oh, I was comforting her because she apparently has feelings for both of us, and I'm like, that's weird. Anyways, I don't know why, me being naive, I let it slide. I'm like, I trust him enough to not do anything dumb. And then he later, I think a week later, he asked for a break, and I'm like, okay, because we had those before and nothing bad happened, you know, like it was just normal. I'm like, okay. And then I kept on like panicking, and I kept on telling my friends, oh my gosh, what if he starts liking someone else? And they're like, if he if he does, he's dumb, you know. Turns out he did, because I told him I don't feel comfortable with him and the girl, my friend, being that close together, because while we were on break, he was out there play fighting with her, and I wouldn't have known if my other friend didn't tell me, hey, they seem really close and it's kind of weird. So I confronted him about it, and he tried hiding, like they were play fighting and all that. And I'm like, no, I know what you did. And he's like, I don't know, it was like a whole argument. And then like at that time I was like really like done. I was like, oh my goodness. So that same day I told him, can you like stop being friends? He's like, I can't. I'm like, why? And he's like, because I have feelings for her. And I did break up with him, but then he promised that he'd want me back and all that. So I stayed, and then he kept on lying to me. And then my friend showed me, my friend at the time, because I'm dating him. My friend at the time, he's like, he showed me a photo. Like, it was October 4th. I remember because it was a choir concert. October 4th, all of the cheating like stuff happened in like early September, and I asked my friend about it. She's like, yeah, it's, I don't even know why he likes me. Like, I tried like getting that information out, but he like couldn't tell me. Like, I'm so sorry. I dropped her too. And then like October 4th, my friend showed me a photo of him and her holding hands, and I called him. He like wouldn't answer, and like he turned off his phone, and I'm like, bro, we're done. We're like actually done, because he promised me we'd be together later. And then like and then I got really mad. Like, I would be like really controlling, because I'd be like, give me your phone, and I'd be like, I'm going through your photos, I'm going through your recently deleted, I'm going through your messages, I'm going through your recently deleted messages, I'm going through your like Snap, I'm going through your Discord, through your Insta and all that. I was like going through it all, right? And he still found a way to hide it from me. But that was October 4th, and then I kept on arguing with him during that time. I'm like, I hate you, blah blah blah, and then I'd be like, no, I miss you. It was like that. I was like, really, because it was like 2 years. I'm like, 2 years, and for what? 2 years, and I had like a lot of questions. I'm like, when did this start? How did this start? Why does he like her? Why is anything happening, right? And then the girl, she also had a boyfriend, right? So I contacted him, and then we started talking, like being as friends, right? And then like she basically like got mad when she found out, because we were gonna hang, and she got mad, and she basically like told him like, no, she told like my ex, like, you tell her to not contact him or I won't leave you alone. And so I stopped talking to him, and then she still didn't leave him alone, which is like really bad. And then later my friend asked me to hang out, and he told me this wasn't the first time she's done this. Like, she's done this to me too. Like, okay, she's crazy, bruh. Anyways, I slowly started moving on, but then he came back in my life, and then we tried being friends, but we couldn't. Like, we kept on like holding hands and being all like that coupley stuff, right? And then he asked me to homecoming. I found out that the poster he made, he searched it up on ChatGPT. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. How do I know? Because while I was going crazy, I went through his ChatGPT too, and then I went through the history, and it said homecoming poster ID. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. You couldn't even go on Pinterest. You had to use AI, bruh. At least Pinterest, like, it's better than AI, bruh. And it wasn't even that big. It was just a poster and a bag of Takis and flowers. That's it. I mean, like, it wasn't even that much, bruh. I ripped that poster apart, like, a few weeks ago, because I found it behind my bed. I'm like, you know what? This would be, like, a very nice moment to get all my emotions out. And I was going at the poster. I blasted music, and I started ripping that poster up, because I'm like, no way you did this to me, bro. And then during homecoming, he made me cry. And he was bad at you know, he'd always do this. Like, whenever I'd like start like mentally like shutting down, he'd put his head down and like think like, oh, I'm the problem, blah blah blah, and I'd have to comfort him. That's how bad it is. Anyways, after that homecoming, I still like talked to him. It was like confusing, you know. And then we had like our choir thing and all that. And then like he'd like be like, he'd drop me off home and be like, I promise I'll be better for you. And after we're together, we're gonna get seafood boil and we're gonna be happy. And I can't mess this up anymore. I have to change. I just can't. Plot twist, he didn't change. Because, I don't know, he's just messed up. And he kept on lying to me. And then finally, I cut him out, sort of, because I got mad at him. And it's so bad because when I was, like, having a mental breakdown, he thought it was such a good idea to bring up, hey, I called the girl again. And he made me think I was crazy, because there was, like, a time where he went home and I was so paranoid that I went through every single timestamp when his bus dropped him off, when it dropped him off, when he got picked up, when he went where, and it was 10 minutes unaccounted for. And I'm like, what did you do those 10 minutes? He's like, nothing, why are you being so paranoid, or something like that. I found out those 10 minutes he went up and met the girl. And then there was another time where we were going good, right? And then all of a sudden he started saying, I love you, and like, I miss you, I'm so sorry, like, my messed up mind. I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, it was like after the Victoria's Secret video, it was that moment. Like, after I recorded that, he was texting me like, oh, like, all that stuff. And I'm like, he did something, what'd you do? And he's like, I'm so sorry, I messed up, I texted her and I called her and I told her I love her, and then she told me that she loves me too. And I'm like, I was so done. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyways, I would like cry, and then like I cried like to my mom until like 1 a.m. and I couldn't sleep. Like, I just couldn't. It was so hard. I'd cry to her so many times, and I'd sleep with her like in the room so many times because of how much he hurt me. And she like knew him too, you know, like she really like thought he was like a good person, you know. And she was telling me how it doesn't just hurt, like it hurts her too, just seeing me like that because of everything he'd done. And she doesn't understand why he doesn't just leave me alone. Like, why does he have to like keep my hopes up and all that? Anyways, after that, I think we reconciled again. I don't know what I was. Oh yeah. And then like I was like crying and all that, and then we reconciled. But for character development, because I'm amazing now, I'm like much better. Like, anyways, then. Anyway. Anyways, What was I saying? Oh yeah, that he was awful. And after we reconciled, and then we had like a theater thing, so we had to stay after school. And we'd always be like, every single night when he dropped me off, he'd be like, I like work so hard, and blah 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 blah. And then like I confronted my ex-friend, right? I confronted her. And I'm like, what's going on? And then she's like, okay, so he actually made an email account just to email me, and every time like he'd tell me like you guys were just friends and you guys weren't dating, and I'm like, okay, first of all, either way, you still lied to me. And she's like, I was gonna tell you, and I'm like, in my mind, I didn't tell her this, but in my mind, I'm like, you had 2 months to tell me this, and you didn't. It just shows me your character. It just shows me what you really wanted to do, you know. Anyways, and for her, I don't know, like she shouldn't be like hurt that he like ruined her, because if he went with her by cheating on me, of course he's gonna cheat on her or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, she showed me the emails, and in the emails, he was kind of making fun of me a bit. Like he like was saying, oh, I miss you, and then she also said, oh, I wish I agreed when you said you were gonna learn to be selfish to keep me around. And I was like, okay, this is some messed up stuff, you know. Anyways, that happened, and I was like, oh my gosh. I saw the emails, and then like not apparently, like she confirmed this, that at the beginning when I found out and I confronted her about it, and she's like, I don't know why like he likes me, I just don't know. I found out that it was all him. She typed out the paragraph and he checked it to make sure it was okay, and he basically like controlled like everything that she did. And first of all, girl, why were you letting your Anyways, I'm like, first of all, girl, why are you so like, oh my gosh, that you let yourself be controlled by a guy who wasn't even your boyfriend, you know? Like, I don't think they were dating. They were just talking. And I'm like, and it just goes to show your character. Like, you choose to lie to me over a guy. Like, you literally chose a guy over that. You literally lied to me. You literally were such a two-faced person. And it just shows her character, you know? And I don't forgive both of them, of course. I don't know when I'm gonna, because it caused me like so much pain. Like, it literally sent me back to therapy, and I'm still working on it. Like, even now, like, I would sometimes like get nightmares about it. I would get nightmares about it like every single day, and every single day I lost weight. I lost like, well, I was like 116, and I lost like 6 pounds during that time. I was like so bad, and like my mental health was so horrible. My self-image was so bad. And then like I decided to, okay, this isn't like good of me, but I texted him. I'm like, oh yeah, I kissed my friend, so like it's over. Like when spring break happened, which is a lie. That never happened. That never happened at all. And then that's when he was begging me. He's like, I was gonna do like this thing. I was gonna like write a whole speech for you, why I'll change and I'll become a better person. And I'm like, no, you're not gonna do this to me because you had 2 months and you never did it. This is what you always do. You always say you're gonna do something, but when it comes to actually doing it, you never do it. And that's where it hurts me. And I was like going off at him. I was like really mad. I was to the point I was like, get this bee off my phone. I found out he apologized to the girl first, and then he apologized to me. I'm like, nah, you apologize to her first. He's like, why does it matter? Like your apology was longer anyways. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, it's not about how long the apology is. It's about like the respect you had, and like you didn't even respect me enough to apologize to me first, because you're the one who backstabbed me. You're the one who hurt me first. You're the one who caused me the most pain. And for me not to even have my apology first, and instead the girl you cheated on me with, that is crazy. And then he did admit that he was a narcissist. He turned narcissistic, selfish, manipulative. And I'm like, yeah, you. Eventually, like I started being my own person, and I started finding out more about myself, and I actually really loved being single. Like it was freeing, it was liberating. I found out I love my freedom. I love skateboarding. I love rock. Like I found that out. I found my own style. I found myself basically. So in the video that I have on my YouTube, the Black Friday haul, that's when I was like slowly becoming my own person, you know. That's like when I started liking new stuff. I stopped caring about like them too and all that, what was going on, because honestly I did not care, and I still don't. It's just like funny to me to make poke fun of, because I'm like, of course I am gonna. Why can't I, you know? Why can't I poke fun of them? I'm like, haha, you guys are talking, but your relationship is based on lying and cheating. Like that's like ew, that's like icky. Of course I'm gonna make fun of them. Never again. And I've met so much. I've met new people. I've been like really happy. Like it's happy. Okay, the reason why I was so happy being single, because there was someone controlling me. That's what I thought. But now I'm like dating this person, and it's like not controlling at all. It wasn't controlling the last one, but low key, like he'd be like really jealous to the point where I feel like I have to like control myself. And now like I'm here like I wasn't the problem, he was the problem, you know? Because the last dude, I really want to try Gyaru and singing and all that, and I show him pictures, and then he's like, that's too much. But with this one, he's like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I'm like, he's supportive, bro. Like my mind is like blown, and I'm like raising my standards now, because I'm like, okay, this is what I want. I want someone who's supportive. I want someone who loves my makeup. I want someone who always compliments me 24/7. I want someone who always shows me love. I want someone who actually fixes their problem, and I want someone who, when they say they're gonna do it, they actually do it, and it's not just full of like lies. Like example, like if the person if the person says, yeah, I'm gonna ask you to prom, they have to do it. If they don't, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like you know? Because I now hate people that are, because of what happened, you know? I like hate people that say they're gonna do something and then they never do it. Like I hate that. And let me just get my, anyways, I hate those like people like in a relationship wise, you know? And then what else? Yeah, so basically my advice is, if you get cheated on, let it hurt you. Well, it works for some people, because for me it worked really well to actually like become, because when my mother, like what my mom would tell me is like, just let it all out, and I would let it all out. Like, don't hold back, like actually feel the emotions and feel what you're feeling, and let yourself go through that pain, because after the pain, like you have no more pain if you just let it all out, and then that's when you build yourself over again. And I feel like the mistake I made was stay. You know, I don't think anyone should stay in that situation. I've learned that if they like someone else, they like someone else, and that sucks. It will hurt a bunch because you like them. But at the end of the day, do you really like? I think my friends would tell me this, and I wouldn't listen because I was so madly in love, which I would still like being madly in love, but I will never again let someone hurt me like that. I would like fall out of love. But they would like tell me like, would you really want to stay with someone who has lied to you and cheated? Do you want that as like a future partner? And just think about it. Do you really want someone who lies to you and makes you feel uneasy? Do you really? Or do you want someone better? Because sure, he might be or she might be the love of your life, but at the end of the day, would the love of your life really hurt you like that? Like, just think about it, you know? Like, wouldn't the love of your life not do that in the first place? And if they say, I'll change, good for them. Let them change. But if they had to hurt you to change, that's just something else. Like, why would they lie to you in the first place, you know? And let that new them be with someone else, because at the end of the day, if they do change, you're always gonna remember when they hurt you, you know? And of course, like, I don't know, like, people's like, oh yeah, a relationship can get through anything, like, I would watch TikToks like, you can go through anything except cheating. I'm like, what do you mean cheating? And now I understand. I'm like, I would never want that. Like, now, like, my eyes are open. I would never want that in a partner. Like, I would never want to stay with someone who I know has hurt me and lied to me that much. So my advice for you is just let yourself feel it until you just can't anymore, and you just leave, you know? Just leave, and slowly you'll be your own person. Like, right now, I'm my own person, and once I was happy with myself, I was happy being single. Someone unexpected came in, which is like really like good, you know? Like, sometimes it's not gonna happen that fast. Sometimes it's gonna take months, years. Who knows? Luckily for me, it happened fast. I did not even expect it. I was expecting to like be single for the rest of high school. I wasn't even thinking, you know? But then someone came, and I'm like, they caught my attention because I was already healed, like, from like the person. I didn't care about them. I still have like some side effects about when I got cheated. Of course, that's gonna probably stay with you, but it's important to like work on it. I'm working on trust because it's hard for me to trust again, and sometimes I do think the worst. I do think like, no, it's gonna be like that all over, and I just have to remind myself I'm not with that person anymore. I'm with someone different, and I just have to see. Like, I text my friend, like, I'm scared. Like, I'm really scared. Like, what if the same thing happens again? What do I do? And they just told me like, you just gotta risk it. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I'd be like, oh my gosh, no. But in my mind, I'm like, it makes sense, you know, you just gotta risk it, you know? And so I did, and it's like amazing right now, but it's just, yeah. And then, what other advice? That happened my senior year, first half. After, you already know, it's amazing. Please don't take your senior, it's so amazing. Like, take your senior year fun, please, because I haven't regretted anything. I've done everything I could, and I have no regrets. Do everything, have fun, keep on top of your work, like, keep your work on top. The reason why I'm having fun is because I'm keeping my work on top, so I don't have to like struggle with work. Like, get those deadlines done. Don't be in jeopardy of not graduating or something like that. Anyways, belongs to the views. Anyways, my brother keeps on playing that song over and over again. Anyways, just like take it fun. Be on top of your work so you don't have to like stress out. But if you're taking APs and all that, of course you're gonna struggle, because my friends are taking them and they're like struggling. Well, not struggling, they're smart, but it's like a lot of work. They get like, but if that's what you want to do, go for it. Go for everything you want to do. I'm not telling you don't take APs. I'm just saying take what you can handle, you know? Because I knew I wanted to have my senior year fun. I knew I wanted to have a fun senior year. That's why I didn't take any APs, you know? I wanted to like keep it chill, you know? I wanted to have a nice time with my friends, but I also knew that I was going to be able to keep up with my work, you know? And also another reason why I didn't take APs is because there were these courses that I really wanted to do, for example, financial algebra instead of AP calculus. I wanted to do, so there's that. Senior year, please do everything. Like, even if you're like, no, but like, it sounds like dumb or like boring. No. At the end, you're gonna have a good time if you're with your friends, right? And please meet new people. Even though you think, well, it's the end of senior year anyways, you can still, I don't know if people have thought about this, but you can still have those connections after high school. That's like something I'm scared of losing my friendships. But then again, if you put in that work to like keep them around, you know, because I just met like my friend, like the one I got for senior assessment. He's such a good friend, and I just met like a lot of people like this year, senior year. Like, I have like my brother from another mother. He was in the last video, the Valentine's. He was like a good friend of mine, and oh all my other friends that I've met since freshman year are also like really good friends of mine, and I know I'd want to keep them around. And some even from elementary school, I still want to keep them around, and I know I'm gonna put in that effort, even if we're all busy, at least once a year, at least, to keep that friendship around. Or like send them funny TikToks, like keep the friendship, you know. I love Pierce the Veil. I don't know if you guys can tell, but baby, stay away from my friends, 'cause I need them to carry me when it's over. That's my advice. I hope you like this long yapping session where I opened up about like me being cheated on, advice, senior year, having fun, everything. You got that. Bye.